Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Eric Sneidel. John Kutchko, our last day of January.
Yeah, it's been a bizarre January. I mean, one of the stranger January winters we've ever had since I've been around Rochester, which is 30 years.
So what's it feel like to you? Last year to this year? What's
No comparison.
Like?
I mean, a year ago right now, in fact, it was a year ago yesterday, I was at Sodas Point, and you had amazing wind out there. We've seen some of that, but the ice was formidable. We had bone-chilling cold a year ago, and that was coming off of about a 10, 12-inch snowstorm we had on about the 20th of January. So this is a complete departure from what we had 1 year ago, no question.
You know what's crazy out of all of this? Last year at this moment, 61 inches of snow. Today, we have 61 inches of snow.
That's just incredible.
But it's been so different on how we've gotten that 61 inches.
Yeah, a lot of it was before winter officially began.
This year especially, it feels like everything has been melting so fast once we get that snow.
Yeah, that really is remarkable when you look at it that way.
Yeah, so you had some interesting video here. I want to do this right off the top. I'll let you tell this story. This is pretty cool.
Well, to find real ice, you know I love ice. I had to go to Saranac Lake to see it. Now, they've got the 123rd Saranac Lake Winter Carnival beginning tonight, and it goes through February 9th. Now, Eric, the centerpiece for this carnival, which is the oldest in the Northeast, by the way, is the Ice Palace that they build every year. It is different every year. This is a Legends and Myths theme. They've got a Bigfoot there inside that ice castle. But this is all ice. 3,300 blocks harvested from the nearby lake. They're each block weighing 500 pounds. And with the sun out yesterday, the blue sky, it really was an amazing visual. And 100 volunteers took 10 days to build this. Funny thing was, the committee chair told me 10, 12 days ago they had a rainstorm, and it only messed the whole thing up, almost.
I believe that.
But they've had some frigid cold the last 10 days, and especially in the overnights, and it's allowed for thick ice to emerge on that lake.
Look at the blue hue in that.
Oh, it's incredible.
So beautiful.
It really is incredible. That whole area, that drive through St. Lawrence County, Franklin County is stunning on Route 3. You know, I found myself stopping every 5-6 miles to take pictures. They had a lot of snow up there the day before yesterday, and so it was all resting on the pines. It was just quintessential winter, but this is a lot of fun to go. A lot of people from our area go to this throughout the next several days, and this is going to be grand. Tomorrow night they light it. They'll have fireworks in the evening to kind of launch the event, but the event officially began today.
Let me ask you this. So when you're just driving home on a normal afternoon, do you stop every couple of minutes to take pictures?
Sometimes I do. I've always got the camera bag on my passenger seat, but I do it safely. You know, I've got a high-vis vest in the car in case I have to get into a busy area. I rarely do that. Put the hazards on and so forth. But yeah, if I see something really beautiful. Now, having said that, I'm coming home last night. The sky was blowing up with the sunset. But I admired it as I was on 104. I'm just looking at it and like, this is nice.
This is nice
focusing
just to see.
on the drive. Yeah, it was nice not to have to worry about getting a shot of it.
Now we just got to get you a little snow.
Need some snow and need some bone-chilling cold to get really, really good ice.
Might be able to give you half of that.
Yeah. Maybe deep into February.
Maybe deeper into February. Here's the snow setup now.
All right.
You've got some light snow showers in Toronto. That's a little hike for you just to get a
I'm not going to bother with that traffic in the
Peace
Bridge for that.
Another little chunk of light rain snow mix in Pennsylvania. That probably sneaks up into the southern tier later on tonight. Could you get a flurry in Rochester? Yeah, I think so, but most of your Friday evening looks quiet. Temps falling into the 20s. No big problems. Grabbing some dinner out and about, you look good. There's your light snow across the southern tier. Moves in, moves out. Most of the day on Saturday should be dry. Now, there's going to be a few flurries around, but I imagine more coverage of the snowfall arrives while you're sleeping Saturday night. Got a couple more of these, probably mixing with rain. Look at the temperatures here. 11:30, you're already up to 36 in Rochester. Overall weekend impacts out of this. This is our 4th straight weekend where the weather is doing something. But this is the lowest impact out of all of them. No big wind, no big snowfall amounts. Most spots will have less than an inch of snow by the end of the day on Sunday. Many spots, John, probably don't have any snow out of this. Just snow that is falling. Now the fun stuff. Let's talk about next week. This is your setup and your pattern with a jet stream that's cutting just like this. So it goes west of the Mississippi River all the way through western New York. The jet stream is what separates that cold Arctic air and the warm stuff that has been so prevalent for us through most of the month of January. What this will end up being here, just with the early onset things that we're looking at, there's going to be a stalled frontal boundary in our general vicinity, and there's going to be a pretty big temperature gradient with that. So depending on where that front wants to flutter around, you're going to have snow to the north, ice right along it. You're going to have some rain to the south of it. So this could be a multi-day affair beginning Tuesday all the way through the rest of the week, where you end up with some precip each and every day It's just, where is that front going to be in relation to that moisture? And you saw here, this goes Tuesday all the way through Friday morning. We literally had everything that was on that map.
Right.
So how that all plays out here still very much remains to be seen. I think we're going to have multiple ripples of low pressure along that front, so there's going to be several opportunities to enhance that precip. But timing those out and knowing what the strength of them are, you know, on a Friday here, when we're talking next week, we're still very early in the game for that. This is more just pattern recognition.
Pretty much, though, a given over a 4-day stretch here, combined, cumulative, we'll see at least a couple inches, right? Maybe?
Yeah, you certainly could, if you ended up with more cold air out of that. Now, I could
see a lot more.
I could show you some model runs here that are more ice and rain than anything else, and that's very much plausible here, too. You see what we've done with the temperatures. I've hedged my bets, you know, depending on where these low pressure areas track and when they track. You may have some days where the temps shoot up into the 40s, and then behind it you drop back down to the 20s. So we're kind of we're taking this sandwich of a middle ground with these numbers right now because we don't know. We have to figure out where these lows are going to track.
I'll be curious to hear what you have to say after the weekend and on Monday.
But next week looks more fun. We'll see.
Right.